Hey, Sarah Parker. I created Tame the Brain. Chances are you know somebody right now, or you yourself are struggling with anxiety and or depression or strong emotions. And you are searching really hard to find answers. I've been there. If you have someone you love who's struggling, you are struggling because you want them so bad to find peace. And you will do anything to help them find that peace. You want it so bad that you start losing that peace too, because sometimes it's just not to be had. I had a background in counseling, so I had all access to what works and what doesn't work. But I was on a search for my own family, and I had a hard time finding it. And when I was in grad school, I finally heard about cognitive therapy, which I was an assistant to the professor, and all the research showed that it was like the best therapy to help people. And I didn't know what cognitive therapy was. I don't think the average person knows what it is. It's rethinking things. And yet it's the most effective one. So most people go and look for a counselor and they don't really know what their background is. And some counselors don't even know what that is. And so once I knew that, I knew if I was going to look for help, I got to look for somebody who specializes in cognitive therapy. Well, after grad school, I had family members who struggled, and I found out about DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, and this was even better. It even had more. I shouldn't say better; they're both awesome, but it was similar things, but even had really practical skills to deal with anxiety and depression. Super, um, super useful, easy skills like mindfulness. And I just think that was just like deep breathing, meditating. It's actually living day by day, moment by moment with mindfulness. And I explain that all in my class. Labeling your emotions, all these things that are kind of simple, but we don't learn these. No one learns them. Even as a counselor, I didn't learn about DBT. So I went and I tried to get this loved one who's really struggling, really, really struggling, super worried about him. I actually found a class far away, and it costs so much money, but I was going to make it worth it. And then they wouldn't let him in. And I was so upset because I knew these skills would help. So I'm like, okay, I have my degree. I'm going to get certified. So I did. I got certified in CBT, in DBT, and you don't even know probably what they are unless you're a counselor. And I teach Mind Up, which is kind of mindfulness for kids in programs, and all these other things that are kind of along that line. I've gotten certified in. I've combined them to bring a real practical, easy class that's online, and that is called Tame the Brain. And so the classes are there's 9 challenges. They're divided in 9 challenges. So there might be 45 minutes of lessons a week on video, but they're broken down in like 5 to 10 minute increments. So you can sit and watch a little bit each week, and only about 15 to 40. The longest week is maybe 45 minutes. But you learn about the one challenge, the one skill, and then that week you practice the skill, and your brain starts getting rewired because of that. And then you can learn another skill, really simple things. And then after 9 weeks, really, if you really practice, you'll start thinking differently. You'll see things differently. It changed my life. And that's why I'm doing it, because I don't like to see people in pain. I hate it. I also made it because there's a lot of kids, teenagers, young adults who are really struggling. So I have made it so that if you know somebody, or even all adults too, but if you know somebody that needs this kind of skills and you think it might help, do it with them. And I'm fine. You just pay the price. Sometimes you have a young adult, or, this is sad, but I teach this in the community to kids on a younger version from 8 to 14. Sometimes I have those 13-year-olds, they come in and they're like, ew, because they're teens. I don't fit in with any of them. Anxiety looks really different for everybody. So some people struggle that are on the spectrum, and some people may look kind of the goth kind of person and may have been struggling with drugs or whatever. They both are dealing with the root emotion of anxiety, but they look completely different. So as teenagers, if they don't fit in, like, ew, there's 8-year-olds, ew, there's 14. Anyway, so then they drop out. I see it over and over, and yet they really need the skills. But maybe they would sit with their mom or brother or sister and learn the skills, and you teach them together and do it together. And then there's another thing is, if you don't really practice the challenges, you're not going to learn it so much. So I've made it so there's a $50 refund at the end if you do the simple challenges. They're so simple. But then you get $50 back. So if there's, if you're working with a young adult or a kid or something that might be motivated, you're like, oh, if you do this, you'll get $50 at the end, and they might do it. Anyway, I really, again, I made this because I can't stand seeing people struggle, and it's really hard to find these skills. And you can, maybe find a counselor who's trained in it, but maybe not, and it's super expensive. This, you learn. And then I have a Facebook group, and we do the challenges together. And so, and it's different because it's not just like, okay, everyone learn a deep breathe. That's wonderful to learn a deep breathe. But we put it in practical life. So it's like, today, this and this happened, and so I use this skill, blah, blah, blah. And when you read other people and their experiences, you're kind of more motivated to do it as well. So anyway, I just really hoping that you'll check this out. It's a system. It's not just classes, it's 9 challenges that we do together. And right now I have a special on, so join now and you get $60 off. Tame the Brain, please check it out, because it really has changed my life, and that's why I'm doing it, because I can't stand seeing a family member suffer, and it runs in my family, emotional sensitivity, and I've just seen it. People struggle too much. I can't stand it. And there's skills that really help. Not going to cure, but it's definitely going to help. So yeah, join Tame the Brain. All right, bye-bye.